Distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, I am immensely pleased to be part of this Elite Knowledge Exchange Forum, Goa 2015. And I am thankful to the organizer, the government of Goa and elets, for giving me an opportunity to be present with you today. The Software Technology Parks of India was basically, I would say, established in 1989 as a sequel to a government resolution that was passed in 1986. While that resolution, the government, the then Department of Electronics, Government of India, had resolved and envisioned that in times to come, the India is poised to be a great destination for the development and promotion of IT industry across the country. They could foresee that world is moving towards sourcing model, and the demand of IT and IT services is going to grow in a very tremendous manner, and to meet the needs of the entire world, they thought to prepare India to meet those requirements and create job for the countrymen. And therefore, the Software Technology Parks of India was established at 4 places in this country. And thereafter, based on the success, in 1991, a unified society was created. And thereafter, if we look at in year 2015, STPI is 53 centers strong organization across the country. We have also in pipeline 10 more centers, and in times to come, within 2-3 years, we will add up 10 more centers, and then the number of centers of STPI will reach to 63. What I am trying to underline is that the STPI has played a very, very phenomenal role in promotion of IT industry and supporting the exporting IT industry in every manner. STPI essentially is a statutory organization too, because STPI acts as a single window clearance system for the software exporters. And in addition to that, way back in 1989, we were also licensed to run internet services to the software exporters. The first client that India had, the STPI had, was the Texas instrument, which was given the internet bandwidth by our STPI Bangalore Center. And that is how the TI, the Texas instrument, was retained within India because of that service. Every STPI center is typically an incubation center too, where we host the startup companies, the small companies, and provide all kind of support, including the infrastructure support for development of software and export of software. And therefore, the journey which started in 1989 had reached to a destination where we can feel proud and we can inform the gathering, and most of the people know that the kind of service that STPI has extended to the IT industry across the country. If you look at the statistics, in year 2013-14, the STPI registered units have exported in the tune of 1,73,000 crore. The India's total export in the IT and ITS services has been in the tune of $86 billion, and the major portion has been contributed by STPI registered units. But the growth which were at the level of more than 20% in last decade has now reduced to more than about just somehow 10 to 12%. And therefore, the government of India is taking measures to not only sustain the growth, but also to see that the growth is consistent and creates job for the young graduates. STPI in recent times has taken many important decisions, and one of the most important decision is that we are creating enough infrastructure across the country for supporting the startup companies, for supporting the small companies, and for providing all those services to the startup companies, to the companies which are into the creation of product. And that is how we have decided to develop 20 lakhs square feet of space within 2 years' time in most of the tier 2 and tier 3 cities of this country. The policy under which the STPI operate is called foreign trade policy, and alongside, to promote the IT parks in the country, the Department of Electronics and IT has also come up with the infrastructure developers policy, under which, because it was thought that STPI alone cannot meet the infrastructure requirement of the software exporters and software developers, and that is how, to seek the private investment in this sector, the ISP policy was created by the Department of Electronics and IT, under which the private developers were given all kind of incentives to develop infrastructure. And that is how, apart from the SEZs that is promoted by Department of Commerce, you can see non-SEZ IT park mostly supported by the Department of Electronics. And STPI implements that ISP scheme for the Government of India. If you look at the entire business that India has right now, India has the share of entire sourcing business in the entire world in the tune of 60%. And that percentage is growing year on year. But still, we have a lot of achievement to make, a lot of business to seek from entire world. And we have to continue to keep us alive to the requirement of rest of the world and capture major sourcing business, and for which the state governments, the STPI and the IT industry at large has to act as a stakeholder and work together to see that India remains as a preferred outsourcing destination in the entire world. Apart from that, if you look at the entire product business, the entire IT business, we don't have that much share. And therefore, in times to come, the India has to transform itself from the service industry to service-oriented industry to product industry too. And in these times, it's very important that when the e-governance is growing across the country, we are talking about smart cities, we are talking about digital India, we are talking about digitization of almost all the services. And in these times, if we could link the entrepreneurship, the product development with the consumption that are going to come because of implementation of these programs, we can do miracle and wonders, and we can promote entrepreneurship and value creation within this country. Because if we suppose, just for an example, that if we talk about smart cities and the governments at large, at each state, they work with the industry, they define the problem, they talk about products and fund the entrepreneurs to develop those products, which can be in turn consumed by the smart cities in times to come, then we will be saving a lot of money, which would be basically, which would be required to be spent in terms of import that we'll do in making our cities smart. So therefore, if we, alongside our policy decisions, if we could link it with entrepreneurship and promote the product creation, promote the startup companies to come up with the product, and those products can in turn be consumed by us, it will create a virtuous cycle across the country for the promotion of product creation, for creation of job, for creation of wealth, and retaining all those wealth within this country. With this, I would say that the government of Goa has done a very commendable job with coming up draft IT policy. They have also earmarked a lot of land and space for IT parks in the state, and STPI is also set to open its first office, its first IT park, and I am sure that STPI will play soldier to soldier alongside with the government of Goa for the promotion of IT industry in Goa. With this, I would thank the organizer once again and would be open for any questions from the audience. Thank you.